Hello and happy first day of February. I know you're probably thinking, why is she talking about test prep this early? It's only the beginning of February and state tests aren't for another few months. Well, the reason why I'm starting now is because I have a really cool resource to share with you called the Test Prep Toolkit, and it's 10 steps to get your students ready for state tests. So we need to start early, and some of these things you are already doing in your classroom. I just want to be able to, over the next few weeks, walk you through each step so that you can use them in your classroom. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. My name is Tara and I run the Teach Without Tears Teachers Pay Teachers store, and I was a third grade teacher for 14 years. So test prep is something I am very familiar with, and over my years in the third grade classroom, I definitely learned a lot about the best ways to prepare my students for those state tests. My first year teaching, it was my first year dealing with state tests, and since my students were third graders, they had no idea what to expect either, since it was their first time taking the PSSAs here in Pennsylvania. So I really didn't do a whole lot that first year to prepare them, and when they got the tests, they were overwhelmed. So over the years, I figured out some good ways to start getting them ready, and that's exactly what I want to share with you. You will be able to download my test prep toolkit down below the video, and I just want to tell you about some of the features, some of the things that it includes, and then over the next few weeks, I'll be breaking down each step and we'll be talking about it in more detail. So after you download the toolkit, the first thing you're going to want to do is print out the roadmap. This is exactly what I wish someone had handed me my very first year of teaching. It breaks down the steps for you, exactly what to do step by step to prepare your students for state testing. And like I said, some of these things you are probably already doing. You're already covering all of the reading standards with your students to prepare them. You're probably integrating test prep into some of your lessons already by having your students answer multiple choice questions and open-ended responses. So we're going to be walking through the steps together, and I'm going to be sharing some additional resources with you to help you prepare your students. You certainly don't have to start this right away. Some of the steps won't take a full week, or some of them you might want to spend more time on. So figure out when your state tests are. Here in Pennsylvania, they're the end of April and the beginning of May. And you want to just count back from there and see how far in advance you want to start preparing your students and taking some time to really practice samples and teach them the strategies that they're going to need. That's how I knew that I had found a good formula for how to prepare my students. Is the year after my students had finished their state tests, they looked at me and said, we felt completely prepared. We had seen every type of passage that was on that test, fiction, nonfiction, poetry, and we had seen every type of question that was on there, whether it was a two-part question or an open-ended question with lots of parts to it. They felt completely prepared. And that's when I started writing down these steps, because I wanted to be able to remember them myself for future years, and I wanted to be able to share them with other teachers, because I know how stressful test prep can be, both for you and for your students. And you will feel much better knowing that you've done everything you can to prepare them, and they will feel much better knowing that they have seen everything that they could possibly see on that state test. So in the Test Prep Toolkit, after you download the roadmap, there are going to be some strategies that you can teach your students for all the different types of texts they might see. How to answer questions on nonfiction passages, poetry passages, dramas. So look through those strategies and see which ones you want to start with and how you want to teach them to your students. It also breaks down the 10 steps over there, but like I said, we're going to be going through them in videos here as well. And if you're not in my Rock the Reading Workshop Facebook group yet, I'm going to put the link to that down below the video as well. You can hop in over there, join that group, and we'll be talking even more about it there. You can ask any questions you have, join in conversations. And then the last thing in the test prep toolkit is some motivators for your students. The state test survival kit, this is what I always put on my students' desks on the first day of testing. It had a baggie with the saying in it and then little treats for them just to get them excited on the first day. And then each day after that, they get a little ticket that tells them a motivational saying and then just a few little pieces of candy or treats for them to keep them motivated until the end of state testing. So you will find all of those in the test prep toolkit as well. So go ahead and click that link down below the video, download your toolkit, and then you will be all set for all of our other videos that are going to walk us through each individual step. Each Wednesday, a new video will be coming out about that, so make sure you check back for those. I will see you then. Bye.